What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Schilling N Stunna podcast. Today, we're going to be hitting you with the recap of the Dallas and Giants game. First thing up, we want to talk about the importance of a backup quarterback. Cooper Rush has done his thing the last 2 weeks. This is also the same Cooper Rush that we were willing to move off of in the preseason for Will Greer. Thank God we didn't do that, right?
Yeah. Hey, look, Cooper Rush stepped to the plate, man. Definitely got to give him his respect where it's due. He done came in. You can call him a bus driver, whatever you want to call it. But, hey, look, it's flowing. He's taking the shots. The offense has looked good. We stand to the tune of things. And definitely shout out to Cooper Rush, man. Better than what I can expect. We 2-1. We got a little hard stretch coming up. We got the Washington this week. We're sad I go, and then the Rams and the Eagles. But, man, we right on time for what we need to be. So, yeah.
So I don't know if you caught this. Apparently, and I forgot all about this, but when Jason Garrett went over to the Giants, we waived Cooper Rush,
right?
And he was signed by the Giants, but then they waived him, and he cleared waivers for 31 other teams to make his way back to us.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Hey, one thing we can say, he knows the system. Whether he was with Jason Garrett, now he's with Jason Garrett Jr. The verbiage might have changed, but all in all, it's the same system. So, as much as Dak knows the system, Cooper Rush knows it as well. So, plus he got chemistry with these guys, man. It looks good, man.
Speaking of Dak, so if Cooper Rush and the Cowboys can come out this weekend and beat Washington, which I'm not going to say is a lock, you can only win so many games with a backup quarterback.
Right.
How soon do you want Dak back? Do you want to try to hold off? If we win this week, are you cool resting him again next week against the Rams?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to send him right in there against Aaron Donald, his first game back in that
Agreed.
defense. You know what I mean? I think maybe the Eagles, but I don't want to rush him back. Give him some time. We're not in panic mode no more. You know what I mean? We're in a good spot, right behind where we need to be in the NFC East. And then as far as the, in general, when you look at the landscape of the NFC East, man, and you think about all these teams, the wild card is going to be there. You know what I mean? So if you think about it and how we've been the last couple of years, we don't need to risk our season just to try to win a division. As crazy as that sounds, all we need to do is get there, make sure when our reinforcements come, we're at our best when it's December, you know what I mean? And games matter the most. So, he should just go ahead and rest, man. If he's ready to go and he's 100% healthy, go ahead and get up in there. But if not, ain't no rush, man. Rush out.
I agree completely. I agree completely. I don't want to rush him in there, get him dinged up again. Same with the Peters thing. They're working him in slowly. Just take our time. Cooper Rush has bought him 2 extra weeks of recovery, in my opinion. Absolutely. Or at least one. Not just Cooper Rush, I'm sorry. The coaching staff as well. They've put together solid game plans.
Yeah, how about Noah Brown?
Speaking of Noah,
consistent, man.
Noah stepped up.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Noah's kind of stepped up to the plate. That's he's a solid number 2, honestly. And when Gallup comes back, he'll make a great number 3.
Great. It's crazy because when the season started, right? Not even. Let's take it back before the season, the off season, and it was, hey, it's James Washington, CD, to Gallup come back. Now, if James Washington come back, I don't know if I'm so sure I want to move off of a Noah Brown. It's something to be said for the guy that just knows where he needs to be. He's always consistent, and I think we kind of know what we get with him, man. Especially, you can't knock it, man. He's out there. He's blocking like a damn tight end, man. And especially, it does wonders for the run game in general. So, man, I'll take that week in and week out.
What's crazy, too, is for Noah, he's not great at anything, but he's good at everything. Right. And that's what makes him a good player, in my opinion. Run block, like you said, he was even in there for a little pass protection, the play that CD dropped the ball.
Then the screen
he's
pass,
out there.
Man.
Screens, man. Catching the ball downfield.
That was a major play.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And it's cool, too, because obviously him and Cooper Rush have chemistry. So I do wonder if that chemistry will carry over with Dak. I hope so. I don't know if it'll be as good. Moving on to the backfield. So we did see a more even rush share over Monday night. So 15 carries for Zeke, 13 for Tony Pollard. That's about a 53-47 split, which is ideal. That's right around where we need it for success, in my opinion.
And the good thing about all of that is, man, is we committed to the run. You know what I mean? We forced them to have to respect the run. And then Cooper Rush took his shots when he needed to. And I think that's the
Right.
complementary football we need to play, man. Like Tony Pollard looks good, man. Like once we get it and talking about some of the standouts, that's one of my guys. But then it's like I don't even want to leave Zeke out. Zeke looks healthy. He looks good. He's getting that extra 2 or 3 yards every time he makes contact, man. And I just think the running game in total, along with this offensive line and identity we create, I think that's kind of what we need to be for the rest of the year, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
What annoys me the most is like listening to NFL Network talk about Zeke and Tony and move off of Zeke.
Man.
And they just don't understand. It's just talking points. That's not the real words,
they do that every week. They doing it with our guy Dak right now. All of a sudden, Cooper Rush wins some games, and he the best thanks to sliced bread. No knock on Cooper Rush, but it's kind of disservice to him. You know what I mean? Like, they doing a disservice to Dak, but at the same time, Cooper Rush. You know what I mean? Putting all they want to put that pressure on him. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a great backup. Now they want to make it seem like he's one of the best starters in the league. You know what I mean? We got a nice identity. I like Cooper Rush, but like you said, they always seem to do that with our guys, even our fan base. Like, it's okay to enjoy Tony Pollard and enjoy Zeke too, man. Both of them great, man. I enjoy both. No need to make it a situation.
And it's kind of like, I guess what I was trying to say is like, it's like our closing pitcher and starting pitcher essentially. Like they have two different play speeds.
Yeah.
So when Zeke comes in, it's going between the tackles more than likely. But then he opens up things in the passing game with his blocking ability, whereas Tony opens things up in the passing game with his receiving ability. So they balance each other out.
It's important too, because I seen a stat where it's like 3rd down and 1 or like conversions. You know what I mean? When it's little less to go as far as the yardage go, Zeke is like 8 for 8 on the season. You know what I mean? He's 100%. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
he's powerful.
It kind of pissed me off because, like late in the game when Noah Brown, he was triple team and they held him. I'm like, why we ain't just run the ball there, man? Like Zeke going to get that yard. Yeah. They probably would have never got the ball back and the game would have been over. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? You can't have everything. But outside of that, man, I thought we definitely did a good thing as far as the game plan. I continue to see Mike McCarthy imprint in it. It seems like we've simplified things down for Cooper Rush, where you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it's a lot of trickery, nothing. He's been able to lean on the run game and then make his reads and go through it. And, you know what I mean? It's not too much confusion for him. And he looks good. He looks aggressive and he looks comfortable.
I agree completely. Moving out to my standouts for week 3, a couple guys that stood out. Brett Maher again has me shutting my mouth.
Hey, Big Nuts Maher, man.
What?
Ain't gonna need a world, bro. Shout out to Maher, man. Yeah, man. Listen, hey, you stepping up. I like that.
Donovan Wilson. I know we kind of talked about that earlier today. That man looks phenomenal, and that's the guy you were on Donovan like 3 years ago.
Love Donovan Wilson, man.
And I was like, "Who's Donovan Wilson?"
When Kurtz come back, they just I don't know, figure it out. I love our safeties. They just need to find a way to keep them all on the field, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Donovan's a beast, and his impact is different because he brings like a different type of toughness to the game. And I think the guys on the defense, they kind of, you know what I mean? They rally around that. You know what I mean? I like that.
Two more real quick, actually, on the defensive line. Dorrance Armstrong, another 2-sack game. Phenomenal. Dante Fowler. I know we previously spoke about it, but the way he sniffed out that screen was very impressive. It really stood out to me. And in general, he's not getting as much playing time as some of these other guys from what I've noticed. I do like how much Sam Williams is playing, though. Yeah. I do like that.
Sam looks good, man. He got that burst.
Hit the quarterback when he's out there, though. That is true. Yeah. What about you? Who stands out to you?
First and foremost, man, Pollard. Like, I said it last week, I'll say it this week and next week and the week after that. I'm like, every game, if he gets enough touches, he's going to pop one every time. So, I mean, I thought it was refreshing again to see him actually getting in there, running the ball, getting him on the edge. And, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, that left side of the offensive line, whether it's the right side, I don't even want to make it, whatever side. But, hey, look, whenever they was running that side, like, it was chunk yardage. You know what I mean? Tony looks good. Mm-hmm. That's my first standout. Second, D-Law. Like, I can't even talk about players that stood out without even talk about D-Law. It was good to see him come back, make him put some respect on his name, getting that 3-sack deal. He scared me a little bit with the injury. He came back. He looked like he's going to be okay, man. D-Law looked like a beast. Nick's Tyler Smith, like I just spoke about that left side of the line. I think, man, for a young guy, for him to come in, there's been no, like, the conversation amongst him has completely changed. We're not even talking about left tackle no more. Now it's a completely different story. Now it's becoming a situation where we'll probably get into it later, where let's say even the Tyron Smith come back, who knows? But I think that's our guy moving forward. Solid game from him. Noah Brown, once again, I'm about to just start calling this man Mr. Consistent. You know what I mean? It's not even just the routine catches. He's making tough catches. He's looking good, runs after the catch. He's blocking. He's playing winning football. He looks good while doing it, man. Shout out to Noah Brown. Knicks, I have to follow with you on Dorrance Armstrong, man. I know we always mad about the Randy Gregory thing. I don't even want to compare him to Randy. Two different type of players, but enough can't be said about a guy that just wins his one-on-ones, right? Because when you got a Michael beside you, you got D-Law beside you, you just need you to win your one-on-one matchup, and that's what he's been doing all season, and he looks great, man. He had one sack. The second sack he should have had, obviously it was a big penalty that negated that, but another solid game from Dorrance Armstrong. And then lastly, Donovan Wilson. I don't need to touch on that too much because we all know he's a baller, man, and that man is a beast. So shout out to Donovan Wilson.
If you want to, real quick, so we kind of were talking about it earlier. We decided to wait and talk about it now. What is the likelihood of us hanging on to Tyron Smith?
You know, I just feel like the number is on the wall right now. You know, it's a situation where even if he comes back this year, it's kind of like the Lyle Collins deal last year. You've seen how it affected us last year. Us as fans, we all thought Lyle Collins would be the best move because obviously he's the familiarity with him as far as being a Pro Bowl, been a baller for so long. But then when he came, it's something that's to be said about messing up continuity along the offensive line. So I think when he does come back, and we're probably going to be right around the time we're trying to get into playoff football, I don't think you want to mess with things that deep into the season. And I think moving into the next offseason, you know, unless he wants to accept more, maybe for a backup role, I just don't see him being back in Dallas. Honestly, hopefully he'll retire. I don't even want to see him in another jersey. It's selfish as that seems, but I think in Dallas, unless he takes a lesser role and becomes a backup, I think his days as a starting left tackle in Dallas is over.
While we talk this through, I do want to pull up what his dead cap's going to be after the season. I do think if we could convince him to take a pay cut, why not just move him into a swing tackle role? Yeah. Obviously, he's a better tackle than Tyler Smith, but when it comes to the money and the availability, Tyler Smith is our best option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're probably not going to be able to move off of him fairly cheap. So after this season, he's got an $8 million dead cap, it looks like. And Tyron Smith is still very young. He's only 32 years old. Going to be going into his age 33 season next year.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a 40-year-old refrigerator playing left guard on Monday Night Football, just clearing a pass for me, you, everyone else.
Speaking of left tackles, right? You know, we not even left tackles. Let's just talk tackles in general, man. Tyler Smith looks good, but then on the flip side, how crazy is to see, you know, the number 6 pick in the draft, Evan Neal, struggling. Not even on the blind side. He's over there, you know what I mean, getting ate up so far this year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that goes to show that Dallas in this front office, man, we got to start trusting what they're doing in this draft. We did it last year with Micah Parsons. You know what I mean? Once again, it was this year. Everybody say, hey, you reaching. But look, man, the kid has did nothing but prove everybody wrong. And we was able to look right across the different side of the field right there across from us and get a clear look at how it could be. You know what I mean? So.
Especially with that power and speed Tyler Smith possesses, as soon as he gets that balance and footwork perfected, bro, you're looking at a top-tier tackle in the league.
He got grown man strength, man. He's just a baby.
Right.
You know, I think like 21, so, yeah.
That's crazy.
I just thought that was interesting.
Just a kid.
Yeah.
But how about Micah having Evan Neal shook over on that right side, bro? Back-to-back weeks, he was shaking these boys.
Flu game, too, man. You know what I mean? I seen him after the game. He still didn't look like himself, man, but man, I love that kid, man. One thing I know about Micah, he's going to come out and ball. You could tell he wasn't all the way there 100, but like he said, man, 60% of Micah is better than a lot of guys in this league. And I don't even think the Giants knew it. It was just, you know, the guy's a beast. I felt bad for whoever was lined up across him. Remember, like, he made that one play. Man, he blew that damn guard up in the middle of the home. Like, God damn, that man got kids at home, man. They got to answer to that when he get home, man.
That is true. Another one too. Obviously, Mike is a standout, but we don't have to put him every
we don't
week.
talk about Micah no more. It's expected.
We already y'all know.
Yeah.
Y'all know. But what's crazy about it to me is pretty much like he doesn't have a sack. He has all the pressures. I mean, he's pressuring people 10 yards out. So
yeah,
it's just cool to see him open up these lanes for the other people on the defense.
Right. So let's talk about the game a little bit. As far as keys, I know last week we pretty going into this game, we pretty much wanted to see pretty much contain a Daniel Jones, but first and foremost contain Saquon Barkley, right?
True.
And then we wanted to be able to run the ball, control this game, time of possession, and things like that. I think we did most of that to perfection. Saquon, we held him in check. I think as far as the run game, obviously outside of the huge run, he had a few plays in the receiving game as well. But I mean, Saquon does Saquon things, man. I thought we did a good job of holding up overall. Daniel Jones, I think we could have did a better job of containing him. We set a record for pressures on Monday night. I think it was like the second most all time, 24 pressures, 6 sacks. So I think it's crazy that we was able to pressure him so much, be able to sack him that much, and then in context, he was able to get outside of the pocket and run, but those 6 sacks could have easily been 10, man. So I don't think we did the best job containing them. I think we made better adjustments in the second half. I felt like we could have did a better job with that. But I mean, hey, we just nitpicking. He didn't even have over 200 yards. So, I mean, I think it was not a solid day for the defense overall.
I think, too, Daniel Jones is the most ungraceful, phenomenal athlete I've ever seen.
Right.
When he takes off, bro, it looks like it hurts. Like it just doesn't look like he should be moving that quickly.
Yeah.
When he takes off.
He be moving.
But that man moves.
He got some underrated speed to him, man. I think one time I seen him get outside of Michael grips a little bit. Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And most of the first downs they was picking up was because of Daniel Jones. So if you want to say he put them on their back, I'll give him that, man. Like, as much as people knock him, he didn't have a back end.
No.
Yeah.
He is a backup, though. But the reason every time he did take off, the spy wasn't at home to stop him. Because if you did notice, when Donovan was spying him, he was making no progress.
Oh, yeah.
I think he only shook Donovan once when he took off.
Right.
Donovan was every other time Donovan wasn't there. What?
Yeah. But now we did good, man. Go ahead.
I was nervous to see what Kellen Moore / McCarthy, we don't really know at this point, could dial up against Wink Martindale. Because the Giants have a phenomenal coaching staff in general. And I think once they get the quarterback position figured out, the NFC East will become a lot more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They just need to focus on losing more games if they want to do that.
They got a bright future for sure.
They do. And then I was going to say, too, Saquon is like the best, worst running back of all time. Because he'll run the ball for 2 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard.
Definitely.
And then he just gets a 45-yard touchdown. And then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 the rest of the way through. But then sometimes he's lucky and he'll break 2 or 3 of those. But he's not like a gasher. Like, he just occasionally explodes.
Yeah.
But it works. Like, it works. It works in fantasy. I know that much.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Saquon a beast, man. But
I think agree completely.
I mean, everything looked good, man. I like the fact that we committed to the run game and we stayed there. Too many times we've ran it just to kind of get out those looks and just try to do other things. But just to look back on the game, they had an even split. I believe it was like 31 passes, 31 rushes. Like, hey, you know what I mean? That's right where we want to be. And as long as we're doing that every week, man, I think we'll continue to stack up some wins on on the upcoming schedule.
I agree completely. But this is the Schilling N Stunna podcast. You got any final words?
Yeah, man. What was all that talk y'all knew your Giants fans was talking about, man? Dallas week, y'all was gonna get that dub. Hey, take these L's, man. Yeah. Maybe next time. Shout out Dallas, man. And yeah.